The Acolyte has finally finished their first season, and I don't know how to feel about it. Like I do, but at the same time, it's not too great. So far, it's been a missed series for a majority of people that have seen it, and I do understand why. You know, its story is supposed to show us the rise of the Sith during the High Republic era, and while it shows the beginning of that, it just kind of falls a bit flat from that. But I could repeat the same stuff that the internet has already hashed out about this show, or I could just aim on the aspects and things that I liked personally about this show. So that's what I plan on doing today. Also, this is going to be a shortish video today, and there's going to be spoilers ahead, so this is your warning as of now if you still haven't seen the show or don't care. And always, you know, don't forget to hit that like button and sub. So close to 1,000 subscribers. Crazy. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the things about the Acolyte. So there's no question that this show seems to be a miss for the community of Star Wars fans out there, and this isn't just kind of one of those can't please Star Wars fans types of situations. It's just poorly executed in my opinion, and now I could make that long video about it, but I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna, I don't
Chicken Little, what were you thinking?
But it big acorn level fly.
So the first point I want to talk about this show is just kind of like the characters that I like. And for starter, characters like Soul and Chimere, probably the most out of any of these characters I enjoyed. Soul is just purely because he's played by Lee Jung-jae from Squid Game. And I was really hyped back in the day when we seen that he was cast in this show and the online set photos leaked for him as well. They take this Jedi who's good-hearted and respected and flip that coin upside down. While not making him a Sith inherently, he's very much in tune with some deep emotions and attachments that Jedi usually aren't supposed to have via his relationship with Osha and May. So I thought that was kind of interesting how they ended up making his turn based on a mistake he had made when he was younger and having that kind of be his downfall, and not having him inherently, like I said, join the Sith. But I wasn't expecting him to die like he did with that force choke from Osha. That was... I was like, oh, I thought she was gonna stab him, not this. Chimere, on the other hand, though, had probably the most charisma out of all the characters from the entire shows, all the way from his disguise and to his Sith reveal. I mean, you know, they almost gave him like a sexy, darker vibe with his character, and that kind of goes further in the show with his relationship towards Osha, and especially at the end. Any moment that he popped up, you know he was gonna say some funny stuff towards the beginning of the show, and after that reveal, my man was a straight up menace, especially in episode 5, like,
she was a child.
You brought her here.
goddamn. His design and fight styles were crazy as hell too, especially when he pieced up 2 certain Jedis. My only lingering kind of question with his character arc though is like, what was his motive in all this? Like, did he just want an apprentice or to restart the Sith?
What do you want?
Freedom. The freedom to wield my power the way I like. I want a pupil, an acolyte.
Because when we do see Darth Plagueis towards the end of the show, Darth Plagueis still also has to be an apprentice himself. So it's like, what's the angle here, you know what I'm saying? Other characters like Osha and May were fine though. Osha definitely got more of a journey and progression, whereas May really didn't get much from the show, but mind wipe towards the end. So I'm curious how these 2 sisters will progress in a potential season 2, if we do end up getting that. Who knows? But let's talk about the real highlight of the entire series though, and that has to deal with the fights, and especially the lightsaber fights with that. Like, the whole choreography of the fights from Mark Ginther and Lu Juncheng, they need a raise. Just give them a raise, bro, because this is probably the best fighting since the prequels. The whole fight between Chimere and the Jedis in the Forest was just brutal as hell. I mean, snapping old guy's neck on some disrespectful stuff was insane. Like, he died in the lamest way for a Jedi, and I mean that in a good way, though. And Jackie, when she got that 3-hole punch, that I was not expecting it to be like that. So the whole forest fights were kind of crazy, and you know, when he kebabbed the other 2 Jedis on his lightsaber, all respects go to their coordinators, especially the Soul fight with Chimere, as well as when they were going all out on each other. I mean, Soul sitting there fighting with passion and losing himself further while Chimere is attached to the dark side. and using a fighting style the Jedi I haven't seen in years, I gotta love it, man. Like, the fights did not hold back, and that is a positive thing I can say. But other aspects of the show I liked were things like Osha making that switch and becoming the evil one instead of May. It was kind of clear that it was going to go in this direction, but I didn't mind it as much. It seemed like the honest and smart progression for her character, but it also gives us that first and one of the coolest things that happened in the Star Wars show and movie, and that's when she's holding Soul's lightsaber and she starts to bleed his kyber crystal right in front of us. Following with that, she ignites the blade, and we're watching it just slowly get consumed by the red in the kyber crystal now. It was just a really cool moment, because you don't see things like that unless you read the books or comics, so bleeding the kyber crystal, kind of fire. And kind of touching back on Darth Plagueis, it was nice seeing this character live for the first time, but it also gives a lot more questions for the show and makes a bit more things confusing, like how, like, what, where, I don't know.
You want to talk about stress? You want to talk about stress? Okay? I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac. How about that for stress?
Why is he there? What's he doing? What's his plan?
I guess we'll never know.
Another thing that I kind of thought that would probably honestly made better for the show is the Senate looking into the Jedi and some people looking at their removal from their political power, which I'm all for it. Like, the concept of the Jedi is, it brings really good conversation in this show. Like, when people who stand for justice and peace end up caring for themselves and losing their own way and beliefs. Space cops. Honestly, makes just kind of sense to remove them in the way. But I guess also then Skywalker wouldn't have never been able to do what he had to do. So who knows? Who knows with this show? Sith are cooler anyways. All in all, though, these things are really the only things that I kind of liked about the show, and I definitely think it's too big of a concept to put it into an 8-episode series, even though if we get a season 2 or not, who knows, maybe Disney will do some Disney shit and make it no matter the reception of it. But all I know is if you liked it, good. I'm glad for you. You could enjoy it. It was a roller coaster for me, giving me something cool here and there and then kind of dropping off at certain points for writing or even story issues. But, at the end of the day, everything's not for everyone, and that's okay. That's okay. So I hope you liked this kind of odd video and found it brief and entertaining, and I will see y'all in the next video, which is...
You're all fucking welcome.
Hello.